So here's Ms. Marita to give us an update.
Hello, good morning to everyone. So for the past 24 hours, activity at the Taal main crater has weakened to emission of steam plumes that rose up to 600 meters high and drifted ash towards the southwest of the main crater. We've had a decrease in the emission of sulfur dioxide from a previous high of more than 4,000 tons per day to 344 tons per day yesterday. And this is a consequence of weakened steam plume activity at the main crater. The Philippine Seismic Network was able to record a total of 718 volcanic earthquakes since activity began at 1 o'clock of July 12. For the past 24 hours, we recorded 5 volcanic earthquakes with magnitudes of 1 to 2.5, and no felt events were recorded. The Taal Volcano Network, however, has recorded a total of 448 volcanic earthquakes in the past 24 hours, including 17 low-frequency events, which signify magma intrusion beneath the volcano. So, in effect, alert level 4 is still hoisted over the high risk over Taal volcano, and this means that the evacuation of Taal volcano island, Taal lakeshore areas, within the high risk areas as defined by our base surge hazard maps, which are typically within the 14-kilometer radius from the main crater, as well as the areas around the Pacific River Valley where fissuring has been documented. Questions, please?
Yes, Ms. AC.
Hi, Ma'am. AC Nicole. Ma'am, for the understanding of everyone lang, can you clarify again yung possibility of an eruption not just from the main crater, but also from the other craters? Reason why i-reiterate nyo yung total evacuation map ng Taal Volcano Island?
Okay, so we can, pwede tayo magkaroon ng eruptions. No, ang typical na behavior, the typical behavior of Taal eruptions, based on historical eruptions, is that when usually activity is confined within a vent, and we can have lateral eruptions from that vent, but not from the known craters, no, at the same time. So this is the historical activity. It does not mean to say that we can have activity in the other vents as well. But based on the historical record, if we have a Taal main crater eruption, much of the activity comes from the main crater. We can have fissures develop around the main crater like we do now. We have a fissure that was developed on the northern flank of the volcano, and that's why we have a minor vent that developed there. So this can happen, and it has happened in several main crater eruptions. It also happened for the 1965 eruption, which began as a strombolian activity at the Mount Tabaro site, and fissuring, which was subsequently followed by fissuring towards the lake, and the development of phreatomagmatic vents. So nagkaroon po tayo ng eruptions along the fissure. And that's why after the 65 eruption, if you could see the pictures of Taal Volcano Island after the 65, there was a huge embayment that was developed. So nabutas yung tagiliran ng Taal Volcano Island, which was subsequently healed by lava flows when the 68 and 69 lava fountaining activity transpired.
How many vents in total are we monitoring?
So, in the literature they say 47. In my research, I mapped more than. And there are also a lot of unknown submarine fissures that could have been covered by sediments, no? Mostly on the south eastern side of the volcano.
Okay, thank you, Ms. AC. Next question from Ms. Edna, and then we'll have Ms. Christine and Sir Manny.
And then Santos compliment 25. Ma'am, yung pong extreme emission and decrease of dioxide emission at an average 344 tons per day, is it significant development?
So far, nakikita po natin for yung monitoring natin, we have a high and then bumabagsak. No? We have a high and then bumabagsak. And off the top of our heads, the fluctuation actually reflects yung interaction between yung groundwater and the magma body. No? So may diurnal parang, or diurnal variation yung SO2 flux. This could be one of the reasons. No? So, but definitely it means that magma is at the shallow level of the volcano. So, nagva-vary yung nagfa-fluctuate yung SO2 flux. However, again, we do not capture the entire day kasi this is campaign style, na campaign. No? So, our team's campaign, what they essentially do is they look for the direction of the plume and they have to campaign across the plume para ma-record yung SO2 flux. So, it's a capture of the emission for a particular time of day. It doesn't capture the entire day.
Is this fluctuation shows that there is a pattern already that the Taal volcano is not going to erupt?
So far, we cannot say that because we have days where we have really high measurements. In fact, the data actually says that there are measurements that go way beyond 5,000. So, but they take the average of several scans just to be more robust in the representation of the SO2 emission.
Thank you. Next po from Ms. Christine.
I'm Christine sa dito of ABS-CBN. Yung low-frequency earthquakes, we have 70 right now. How does it compare to previous days? Is there at least parang trend?
Compared to the previous days, the previous days were really more energetic, and the signals were much prominent in our record. So that the numbers are more or less the same. The energies seem to be fluctuating, but generally weakening. So compared to the previous days, as of today, but I'm not saying that's the trend.
There were comments from Vice Mayor Susan Delisa na he was comparing it to 1965 and the experience of his father. Siguro sa research po ninyo, how does the historical eruptions compare to now? Were there instances na bumagsak talaga yung readings and then sumap?
Okay, so the only instrumented or the scientifically monitored eruption was the 1911, and that transpired only for 4 days. No? So we cannot compare monitoring parameters. But there are eruptions of Taal that lasted for a long time, again in 1754, which were marked by periods of lull. No? May mga lull periods, hindi naman dire-diretso yung pagputok ng bulkan. Kasi maraming nangyayari sa ilalim ng magmatic system. The supply rate changes, when the gas flux changes, you have maraming nangyayari na nag-crystallize partially yung magma. So, lahat to may effect to dun sa behavior ng activity ng volcano. So, hindi natin masasabi na wala na yan. So, we record earthquakes still. Nakaka-record pa tayo ng mataas na SO2. The volcano is inflated. We've had just receiving processed GPS data on the ground. This is to augment the satellite data, confirming na nag-inflate pa yung volcano. So meron pang tumutulak na magma pataas, we can actually track this from our seismicity, no, yung seismic record natin na itatrack natin yung intrusion into the edifice. So may sining na paghina ng activity, but it doesn't mean that the danger is over.
Thank you, Ms. Christie. Next question from Sir Manny.
Good morning po, Manny po sa Philippines. Ma'am, nabanggit niyo na actually yung papaliit ko lang yung nasa sinabi niyo na hindi nawawala po yung danger. Considering the fact na despite the fact na po na nagkaroon ng reduction ng activities ang Taal for the past 24 hours, yung super dioxide bumaba ng malaki, and then nabawasan din yung mga earthquakes or yung volcanic earthquakes na monitor ninyo. But masyadong maliit yung data as basis po para sabihin natahimik na siya. And hanggang meron kayong nare-record na activity means meron talagang possibility ng eruption.
Tama po yun. So, all of the monitoring, every day na ini-evaluate po natin yung ating mga monitoring data, they have weight now. So, meron tayong parang running probabilities of the volcano escalating or the volcano quieting down. So, as long as may considerable na probability talaga, hindi po natin pwedeng ibaba. So, every day naman po i-evaluate tayo ng comprehensive evaluation ng ating data.
Thank you, sir. Next question po.
Val Gonzales po, DCRH. Actually, follow-up lang po dun sa tanong ni Manny. May mga pagbaba ng SO2 emission, talagang bumagsak, pati po yung volcanic earthquake na nararamdaman. Ay halos hindi na nararamdaman for the past 24 hours. Anong indikasyon na from alert level 4 ay magbababa po tayo? Mini-measure, anong figures po ang inaantay natin kung ang mag-uusapan ay yung sulfur dioxide emission, yung number of volcanic earthquake, anong figures o yung magiging batayan natin para maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan na ito na lang yung lindol na nangyari, maring from 4 magiging alert level 3 na lang. Thank you.
Sa katulad po ng ating binabanggit na sa nakalipas sa mga araw, kailangan po makita natin yung overall trend na bumababa po lahat ng parameters. Kaya lang hindi naman po nangyayari yan. Yung SO2 sa ngayong kahapon po ay mababa. Pero kung naalala po natin, nung mga nakalipas na araw, bago po nagtala ito ng lagpas na 4,000 tonelada kada araw. Before the volcano emitted 4,000 tons per day of SO2. That previous day, it emitted a low also of 300 plus tons per day. So the readings in the SO2 are fluctuating, and this could be because of the diurnal changes in the groundwater system with respect to the interaction with magma. So we cannot just trust yung daily reading. We have to look at the trend. Now, the trend of the seismicity is lowering. The incidence of volcanic earthquakes is indeed lowering, but the type of earthquake signifies that there is magma intrusion. So what does it mean? Even if we have a lowered diminishing trend in the earthquakes, the fact is this earthquake signified that magma has been intruded. So thus, the eruptible magma that could be erupted, na pwedeng iputok ng volcan, was already in place. So that is why even as the earthquake is diminishing, we have ground deformation parameters signifying that the volcano is still inflated and is still inflating.
Kung titignan po natin dun sa SO2 emission, anong figures po yung pwedeng magbasihan like ngayon? 344. Pwede bang masabi na kapag ka 100 per day na lang for the next 1 week, pwede na akong magbaba. Pati ko yung volcanic earthquake, like kung 50 o 100 na lang, anong figures po yung natin ninyo?
Kailangan po nating i-evaluate lahat yan. Kung dire-diretso po yung trend, hindi po kasi dire-diretso yung trend. Akyat baba kasi ang SO2. Yung seismicity po, definitely pababa. Pero kung anong figures, ang pinag-uusapan, ang pre-eruptive baseline po ng Taal ay 0 to 5 earthquakes per day. Ito po yung base level. Ang SO2 po, wala pong base level ang Taal dahil before ng eruption, yung volcano po ay may lawa. No? Sa lahat po ng SO2 ay nanutunaw sa lake. So, hindi po siya nagbubuga ng SO2. So, at yun nga po, ang tala ng earthquakes ay 0 to 5 earthquakes per day. At this point, hindi po natin pwedeng sabihin na pag bumababa yung earthquake ay wala nang panganib. Again, as I explained, yung na-track po natin ng mga lindol, ito po ay na-track po namin ng mga magmatic intrusions. At nakikita po namin yung geometry po ng mga intrusions na to sa plottings po ng ating earthquake. Nag-supply talaga siya sa Taal volcano na shallow chamber. Nandun na po yung magma, no? Handa na po siyang iputok.
Thank you. We'll have last two questions. Yes, Miss AC, and then one from the other side. Sorry.
Ma'am, quick clarification lang yung amin. Yung dun sa interaction ng magma and tubig, yung tubig is coming from the lake pa rin.
Opo. So, ang ating magmatic system ay, ano naman siya, interacting siya talaga. Kahit sa ang vulkan, meron siyang interaction with groundwater. Iba pa yung tubig na dala niya. Kasi yung magma meron niyang sariling tubig. But it is also interacting with the groundwater system.
Well, thank you. Next question from Sir Asher.
Ma'am Asher Gadapon Jr. from UNTT. Ma'am, clarify lang po, since mas obvious na mas mababa yung activity sa Taal compared on the first days that it erupted, nag-start na po ba yung, or kailan po nag-start yung 2-week or 1-week count nyo for declaring the pagbaba nung alert level?
So kung susundan po natin yung ating pong, if we will follow our practice or our procedure for stand down, the ones, similar ones that we are implementing for our other active volcanoes like Mayan volcano, it's typically 2 weeks stand down observation period of all parameters going down. Our count will begin from January 13 when the maximum phase of the eruption wane, and we observed lava fountaining from the main crater at 2:48 in the morning. So it will start on that day.
Pero since, ano po siya ngayon, yung first day, fluctuating po siya, and then today mababa na po siya. If it will remain the same data that you will have for the next 7 days or 2 weeks, will you, is it possible na doon na mag-start? Today will be the start of the 1 week or 2 week count?
Yes.
Or,
Yes, we've already discussed these possibilities amongst ourselves and also with the local government officials. So, yes, more likely that will be the case.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Ay, hindi ko sinasabing kasi if something happens, within the 2-week period, all hats are off, So, if we see an escalation, or kahit na significant activity lang, so, the 2-week period is off.
Ma'am, good morning po. Ma'am, dyan kaliman po, TV5. Ma'am, though diniscuss na po siya yesterday with Director Solito, ma'am, can you please explain further po yung nakikita natin alteration po sa landscape ng vulkan, sa part po ulit may alteration, and ano pong ibig sabihin nito mga pagbabago nito sa itsura po ng vulkan? May sweating daw po, and dapat ba itong sobrang ikabahala ng mga residente?
Okay. This is, ganito po talaga these are really the geomorphic changes or the surface changes on Taal volcano every time it erupts. So we have a change in the morphology or in the shape of the main crater, particularly the main crater floor. Before the 1911 eruption, in fact, there was no large lake inside the main crater. So the main crater consisted of several vents. Most of them were on the eastern side of the crater. And they had names, the Laguna Verde, Laguna Amarilla, Cono Activo, Cono Crater Antigua. So these craters had names during the Spanish occupation. So when the 1911 eruption occurred, so all of this material were blown off. And because there was a reduction in material, all of the springs around the crater filled the crater with water. So now we can see that the craters have reinstated, in fact. So from the point of view of before the eruption, these are new vents. But from the point of view of the life of the main crater, these are actually reinstated vents of Taal. Around the volcano, you can see a lot of ash deposited. So this will alter the landscape. But after the eruption, it will recover naman. There is a period of recovery. Around the volcano, you also have fissures. And these have long been known to Phivolcs and a lot of scientists that there is fissuring in these areas where we have them now. And these were experienced in the 1911 eruption as well. And there was subsidence of the area. So you can have all of these geomorphic changes occurring, and through time, the people will learn to cope with all of these changes. Again, we just hope that some of these indicators of change, yung palatandaan, will be memorialized in some way. So some of this, for example, the fissures, hopefully will not be touched, so that people will remember that there are fissures here. So, para maalala ng mga tao.
Follow-up question po. Last question po from me. Ma'am, do you have any response po sa mga naging criticisms or kuna po ni Talisay Vice Mayor Charlie na tanawan against Phivolcs po kasi parang nagkukosol tayo ng sobrang panic or takot po sa mga residente. And you also said na dapat daw po pabalikin na yung mga residente kasi apektado na po yung kanilang mga kabuhayan.
When we were interacting with trying to prepare the province before this eruption, our parang yung sense of urgency was very important to impress to them that this can happen any day. And now that it has happened, hopefully people have learned their lessons. Now, with all due respect to the Vice Mayor, we can understand that he's under so much stress. There are so many things that he's under pressure. So we would like to respect your feelings, Vice Mayor. But at the same time, we are firm in our science. We are doing our best so that we can inform, especially Batangas. Now we know these people. We know a lot of them. We know the people there. I myself have spent many field days going around the volcano. So we know, we understand yung plight nila. We understand their plight. So we are working doubly hard so we can give them the best information. We will be the first one to say if it's safe to go back, because we have them in mind all the time. So alam naman po natin yung plight ng mga nadi-displace, especially who are in evacuation centers. We know na it's very stressful sa kanila yung ganito. So yun na lang po ang masasabi natin.
Thank you. Last question from Ms. Eden.
Ma'am, napapanood naman po natin na yung mga pagtatalo ng mga militar, police, at saka ng mga residente na gusto bumalik sa bahay nila. Meron po ba tayong brief kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kung hanggang kailan po itong ganito government agencies dahil lang sa pangunahing pangamba ng mga nasa evacuation centers ay yung tulong na hanggang kailan yung tulong na matatanggap nila at hanggang kailan po sila mananatili sa evacuation center.
I'm not privy actually to what was discussed during the briefing with the President, but I'm based on those feedback namin sa aming head of agency, na-brief naman po si Presidente, and yes, so I think kaya naman po satisfied naman po ang ating Presidente po sa ating performance because we nalatag naman po lahat ng information sa kanya.
How long tatagalin din yung situation? Wala ba tayong information, idea?
So with the local government units, we are discussing yung probabilities na. So pinapakita naman po natin sa kanila yung baka ito po yung mangyari. So just advice lang po. So kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin. And then we also give recommendations kung ano po pwede gawin. So sa pag nag-operationalize po ng evacuation, nag-discuss naman po tayo.
Ano po yung discussion based on day-to-day
Based on day-to-day, and then nag-brief po tayo. So, meron po tayong tao nandun naman po ang Taal Volcano Observatory, although wala po sila physically sa observatory sa Bukon, meron po tayong observatory sa Tagaytay, no? So, nakatalaga pa rin naman po ang ating mga tauhan. Meron po silang representatives sa Operations Center ng probinsya, no? So, very dynamic po ang interaction natin with the province, and nandun po sila ready, always providing information, advice sa ating probinsya.
Yan po bang information na galing sa Phivolcs kaya nag-lockdown po yung LGM, DILG, ang military at authority dun sa mga lugar na talagang masasabi natin high risk?
In-enforce lang naman po ni Governor yung ating pong warning.
So, hindi nyo na rin po i-recommend na magbigay ng window doon sa mga kababayan natin?
Sa palagay ko naman po, nasagot ko na po itong question na ito, ilang beses na po ito na this is decision of the local government, no? So tayo po ay nariin sa ating babala na no entry po sa high-risk areas. But then again, yung decision po ng local government, they have to operationalize the warning considering a lot of factors. Hindi lamang po yung ating babala.
Last, baka po may mensahe kayo sa ating mga kababayan, especially kung dun sa mga nandoon na nagpupumilit na bumalik doon sa mga bahay, nagkikipag-away doon sa ating mga authorities.
So, yun nga po, gusto lamang po namin paalalahan ng ating pong mga kababayan Batanggenyo na mangyari po lamang na tayo po ay umiwas at manatiling nakalikas mula sa high-risk areas ng Taal Volcano. So we should avoid, iwasan po natin ang high-risk areas dahil nananatili po ang panganib na biglang pagputok ng bulkan ng malakas. At kung mangyayari po yun, at tayo po ay nasa loob ng high-risk areas, napakaliit po ng lead time para tayo po ay makalikas. Kaya po, dapat po natin iwasan ng mga lugar na ito sa kasalukuyan.
Thank you very much for attending this morning's press briefing. Kung sakali po meron yung development, we will give information. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.